Hi crafters, welcome back to another segment of KISS, Keep It Simple Sylvia. We're in the month of August, and for the month of August we're working with wire. Today's segment is going to deal with borders, making borders around cards, around picture frames, around whatever you want to put a border around. There are so many different ways that you can make borders, and I'm just going to show you a few examples of some of the ones that I've done, like this one. This one is just a coil, similar to this, that I just flattened down and put in a circle, and then obviously put the sentiment in it. Isn't that cute? Doesn't that make that stand out nice? Here's another one. This is that little flower that we had done last segment, and I just glued it on with some glossy accents. And then I just took some wire and I wrapped it around and then just did some curlicues on it. It's the same way that you use wire, exactly the same way that you can use baker's twine or any kind of twine. Isn't that cute? I just love that little card. And then this one, the colors are not good on that because this is really rich turquoise teal color. I just made a frame and put it around. Isn't that cute? I love that frame. I love the way that frame looks. That's so sweet. So how do you make a frame? You just bend wire. There's a couple different examples of frames. This is a real simple one. You could actually put brads in the center here, in these little, curly things to hold it on to your page. Here's another one that's just similar to the one that I had on that Hello Sunshine card. And then here's just a plain one. You just bend it. And then where the ends meet down here, you trim them even with each other. And you can always, this is where you could put your sentiment to cover it up. You just have a simple little frame. And once again, you can use any kind of wire that you want to. I was working with my 20 gauge, but if you use an 18 or 16 gauge, it would make for a much thicker frame to go around. And how do you bend it? You just use whatever you have on hand. I use my hands basically to bend it up. Just pull off a section of wire. At one time, I used my cell phone to be a guide to how big I want to make things. Just any kind of shape that you have, and just let it be a guide for you to wrap with. How about a circle? You want to do a circle? Just grab something that's a circle and bend it into the shape of a circle. And then you've got yourself a circle frame. It's a little misshapen because I bent it before. Now, on some of mine, I just use the edge of my desk to make a bend in the wire. I don't even have to use pliers to make a bend. But, pliers are always handy. You can just put it on there and then just fold it against it to make your bend. And if you need to, you can always get a ruler and measure. Like if you know that you need 4 inches one way and 5 inches another way, you just measure it out. Put your pliers at the number of inches that you need the length of and just bend it up. It's very simple. And if things don't meet, you can always rebend. That's the neat thing about it. And here you go. Here we go. Now we've got a simple frame. You want to make it where it's got the little curlicues on it. You just need something to bend it around. Let's use our little bamboo skewer and just bend it up and around and put yourself a little curlicue on it. And that's how you make the curlicue. Now, depending on how you bend it, see, I have the curlicue going in, but if I twisted the wire the other way, I'd have the curlicue going out. I have that little circle going out. You want to put some of these cute little bends in here. You really kind of do need at least a needle nose pair of pliers. Not necessary the round nose jewelry pliers that we talked about earlier. Not these, because this will put a really big bend in, but a needle nose pair of pliers that's flat, so you can grip the middle, hold it in the middle, and just twist it upon itself. Hold the wires straight and just twist. See how I'm twisting that? And there you go. You've got that bend in it. And that's sweet. I love the way that looks. I think it really adds a lot of dimension to the frame. Once again, you put your pliers in the center. You hold the top and bottom of the wires that you want to bend so they don't get all out of kilter on you, and then just give yourself a twist. You can twist it as tight as you want, as loose as you want. This one's a little bit tighter. You want it tighter, you can always put your pliers in there and bend it down. So I did that. Same with this one. If you want this tighter, just stick your pliers in there, give it a pinch. See how it's curving it down? There you go. And now you've got the edges there. And let's not forget about probably the first wire that we ever worked with as far as being when we were kids is our good old pipe cleaners. Pipe cleaners come in an array of different textures nowadays. You can have these metallic looking ones. You can have some that are actually chenille, some that are fuzzy. There's all different kinds of pipe cleaners out. Pipe cleaners are really great to make borders with. Just bend it up. They're so easy to bend. The wire in it is just unbelievably easy to bend. And you got yourself a frame. How cute would that be on a Christmas card? Or do red, white, and blue for 4th of July. Make beautiful little frames. And then, you know, like you say, how can you attach them? There's lots of different ways you can attach. You can always put brads at the corner, and you know how the brad has got those two little things that you spread apart? You would just put that one on this side, one on that side, put it through the hole, and then you've got a cute little brad in the corner. You can do like what I did on this one, is I just got some real thin wire. You can just barely see it. I've poked a hole, and I fed the wire through and just twisted it in the back. You can just barely see it. But you can also make that part of your design. You could poke a hole, and you could put ribbon, coordinating ribbon through, and you could hold it at the corners. And it would make a cute little corner embellishment. You could do it in the center. That would look so cute on a on a card to do. And don't forget, you just don't have to make these into frames either. You know, they can be made into a plethora of frames. You can do round frames, you can do heart frames, you can just do all sorts of different kinds of frames. You know, you can make a cute little heart just by bending it up, curving this down. And these are just so easy to work with. Nip it off here. And then you got yourself a heart. You can do the same things with pipe cleaners that we do with regular wires. You can make spirals out of them. We'll just use our cute little hand bamboo skewer and just curl it up. And the nice thing about pipe cleaners is that they're so cheap. Okay, and then you got a cute little spiral to put on something. You can use them to go through buttons, add a little pizzazz to a button, thread it through the button. Obviously, you have to make sure that you have a buttonhole big enough that'll take it. Push it back down. Now you got a cute little embellishment on your button. On the front here, you'd have it twisted. How cute is that? How simple is that? Pipe cleaners are wonderful. You can use it to make like a circle frame that you might need for a particular holiday thing or any kind of frame. Just put it around. This is my button container. Twist the ends. Smush them down. The nice thing about pipe cleaners is you can smush them down, and there you got a cute little round frame. You can use on any card or scrapbook page or any multimedia that you'd want to put it on. Just so many different things that you can do with pipe cleaners. One of the ways that I like to do is braid them. Braid a couple different colors together. Just twist the tops to hold it in place. And then just do a normal, typical braid that you would do. Don't make it real tight. I just like to just keep it loose. Love the way the pipe cleaners look when they're all braided up. And I'm just pick some holiday colors here, but pipe cleaners come in all sorts of colors. And like I said, so many different textures nowadays. Okay, so we got that all braided up. Once again, just twist the ends. I'm just going to use my pliers just to twist. I have a good solid twist there. Okay, how cute is that? Now, you could use this for a border, a frame. How sweet is that to put on a card or some kind of scrapbooking page? Make it into, you know, a star. Any shape that you want. And it's just amazing what you can do with these things. Let me get something big to wrap it around. Maybe this. Just, you know what? It's just so easy to find things around your house to use when you're making stuff like this. This is actually one of those cartridges that you put in a Cricut that puts ink on the page. I'm just going to coil this around like we've always coiled. Okay, got that. Got it all coiled up nicely. Okay, smush it down. And just going to kind of spread it apart a little bit. How cute is that? It looks like one of those little flowers that we made in our last little segment. Isn't that sweet? And all the colors that it comes in, you can just, oh, amazing the array of colors that these things come in. How sweet for another embelly for a card. You can actually do this with regular wire too. You can always braid up some regular wire, which let me show you a cute little thing that you can do with that. Braid it up, or not necessarily braid it, but twist it. I'm just going to get a segment of wire out. Okay, I'm just going to fold it in half. Okay, it's in half. I'm just going to take my pliers. I'm going to pinch it together, make it real tight. Make a nice tight fold here. So I'm pinching that together. Nice and tight. Okay, now I'm just going to hold the pliers, and I'm just going to start twisting this. I'm not going to make a big twist. I'm just going to make loose twists. And this just adds another dimension to wire. And just keep twisting it. Okay. Now you see the dimension on that? You could twist up a length of wire and you could use that to make a frame. Another thing that you can do with it, remember those curlicues that we made? This is really pretty when you twist it into a spiral. It's very, very pretty when it's twisted like this, and you use this to make a spiral. I'll just keep twisting this around like we did the other spiral, and you can see how pretty it's going to be. I love to do this. In fact, this is a jewelry technique that you use when you want to make those rose rings, is you twist the wire like this onto itself. Makes for a beautiful spiral. Now, obviously, I'm making a real thick one, but if you want, you know, you just for show purposes here, but you can always. Can you see the texture in that? I don't know if you can see that, because we've got the twisted wire. And then I'll just tuck those ends in and around. What an adorable spiral. You can do the same thing with your pipe cleaners. Let's get a blue and a gold out. Just going to twist them at the top here. Hold them together and twist them. Okay, and then just loosely twist the wires together just like what we did. And keep twisting. And get down to the end. Get your pliers out and just give it a couple good twists. You can do this with your fingers too. Okay, now we've got that all twisted together. Let's make ourselves a spiral out of this. Pipe cleaners are so easy, you can just basically just twist it yourself. You don't need pliers to do it. Twist it up. You see that? Look how sweet that looks. Wow. I like it when it kind of spreads out a little bit. You can actually see the spirals in it. What a great embellishment. All sorts of different things that you can do with pipe cleaners and with wire to add borders or dimension to any projects that you're working on. It just, I could just go on and on and on, but I think you get the gist. You just make anything you want. It's just so simple. How easy are borders to make, and how cute are they on our cards and crafting items that we can make. I love that look. I made some larger coils. You can make, which is just, you know, making that coil thing and then just spreading them around and form it into any shape that you want. Isn't that sweet? Wouldn't that be sweet as a little border? Adds a lot more dimension than the little one that I put on there, but wouldn't that be sweet? And of course you can shape this into any shape. You can, you know, obviously put it into a square. Just depends on how you attach it. What I used to hold this down was sticky dots. Those sticky glue dots. And I wrapped it through the ribbon, and I used sticky glue dots behind here. And it just holds it in nice and secure. I guess one last thing I would just want to leave you with is how to make, you know, just a simple heart. Always do this at Valentine's Day. Pinch it together. Find something that you want to coil it down. I'm just going to use my thumb just to give some kind of dimension. Kind of coil it. And then coil it. And kind of just keep coiling it. Do you have something that looks like, what, like a ram's horn or something? And then you just spread it back apart. And you just have this cute little heart that's got these little coils in it that you can use on any project. Isn't that sweet? I just love the way that looks. If you want, you can always twist it upon itself. Put a little circle down at the bottom. Adds another little dimension to the heart. Turn these back down again. You can always make these spirals on the inside smaller. I'm using my pliers here, but you could use the bamboo skewers that we have. I'm just going to spread this apart a little bit. See how cute that looks. Isn't that a great little heart for a project? Okay, there you have it. You can see I can just keep going on and on and on. So many different things that you can do with wire and pipe cleaners. Good old standby, handy dandy, wonderful pipe cleaners. Okay, I hope I've inspired you to make some things out of these, and particularly I have these on hand all the time. When I run out, I go and buy some more. Got these at Michael's. I forget how much they were, but they're so cheap. Okay, there you go, crafters. Thank you for joining me for another segment of KISS. Keep it simple, Sylvia. And I'll see you again back here next week when we continue our segment on wire. Bye for now.